YouTube channel. Here you're going to be able to learn about something called VBA, which is Visual Basic Applications. It's a tool that you can use inside of both Word and Excel to create your own macros. Basically, it's another way of looking at Visual Basic from a macro perspective, if you would. So what I want to show you is some of the things. I've reviewed a few of the other videos, and I noticed some of the things they don't show you is how to get everything set up for initialization. So maybe this will be an initialization video, but I want it kind of to be an introductory video anyway. So first you're going to do is you're going to open up a Word document. Now I'm using Office, I believe it's 2012. Let me just double check it. Here, you can click this little circle, question mark to get it. This is Office 2010, excuse me. So I'm using a little bit of an older application. It doesn't matter, they're kind of all very similar. First thing you want to do is you'll notice up here at the top you'll see these tabs running across Home, Insert. You probably won't have this one, I think I added that one. Page Layout, References, Mailings, Review, View. And over here you're going to be looking for something called a Developer tab. Now it doesn't exist yet. I still believe you can access it by hitting F11. Oh, nope, they took that out. It used to be in there. So anyways, that was in the older version. So what you can do is you're going to click on the File tab here. Remember, keep in mind, if you click these, you're going to see the screens at the top change here based on different views. So click on the File tab. Go to Options. You want to click on Customize Ribbon. And you'll see a set of, it's kind of itemized here. The first thing you're seeing is a series of commands here. Now, I don't really use these, so I'm not going to go into explanation on these. These are just basically controls you can set up to actually implement inside of your main tabs here. If I wanted to, I could add a button or a text box or something. And you can also use them inside of Excel that way too. This is what you want to pay attention to. This section that says Customize the Ribbon. You see it says Main Tabs, Tool Tabs, All Tabs. Make sure it's set to Main Tabs because this is where you want to customize it. You don't want to change it in the toolbar, which is going to be a little drop down here. So you want to look in here, and you'll see an option here as you scroll down here. I'll minimize this to show you. It'll say Developer. Now I unchecked mine on purpose just to show you. If you click it there, you won't see it here yet, but as soon as you click OK, it will magically appear. Okay, so now you have access to the Developer tab, and you have a whole access of things you can use here, from creating your own and dropping your own buttons here. You can drag these. Actually, I could drag this on the screen here. There, it just took a second, and then just undo it there. So you can basically kind of manipulate these tools. But what we want to do is we want to start with a clean slate here. So we're not going to use macros. This is not a macro example. I'm going to use it for Visual Basic. And I actually have a current program running here in memory, so I'm going to need to start a new project. So I don't want to confuse you with this display here. Mine is just loading in from the last application. But if you want to see that, check it out on my page under VBA project. You'll see it there. So we're going to add a new, we already got forms here. So what we want to do is we want to add a new user form. So you can do it one or two ways. You can go up here to Insert User Form, or I just like to go here to Forms and right click it, Insert User Form. So now you have a user form. Now the thing with the user form is it's actually, how would you say it? It's a palette or whatever. It's an area where you can drag anything in this toolbox over to here. It's kind of a design interface, if you would. Now the thing about the user form is, actually let me maximize this for a second. Okay, so it's already maximized. So you can actually adjust the size here by you looking for these little boxes here. You'll see the little squares there. You hover your mouse over there. You can kind of, move them and enlarge the form to whatever size you want. You can also do it down here, going up and down. And finally, you can do it both ways. So we're going to make this just a little bit bigger as a start. And what we're going to do is we're just going to add some design to this environment here. So the first thing we're going to do, real simply, this is called a label. A label is just an area where you can actually type in text and stuff like that. Now notice when I clicked on it, you'll see this, it kind of attaches it to your cursor there, or your mouse, with the little plus. You just basically take it to the form, you click it, You hold it and you can drag it. Now what you want to do is you want to hold down your left mouse button there, and you can kind of draw in the label here. So I'm just going to draw in one label. And you, like, once again, with the adjust size, you can still adjust your label based on the little squares there, however big you want it. So we got one label in there, and you can change the text by clicking in this window. And now you have access to your keyboard where you can go in and you can change it to whatever you want it to be. Let us say name, for example. We're going to say, like, to create a little name box here. Okay, so this is your label. You can add many other labels by clicking here once again and dragging them to the screen. But we're not going to add a label right now. What we're going to do here is we're going to click on this next button, which is called a text box. Now click on that, and you'll notice it changed to the design for a text box. Once again, position it near, drag and click and hold the left mouse button. And then now you got a text box. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a few more tools here, then I want to kind of go over the properties and explain how those work too. I don't want to jump in this because I don't want to throw people off, but you're welcome to look down here as I'm doing this up here, because I'll come back to this maybe in another video or hopefully in this video. Okay, so this is a combo box. A combo box is where you can set up a certain amount of selections that will be picked from like a kind of a menu selection, like a drop-down box. So once again, click it, and you'll see it change to the picture icon, and you can drag it and size it by holding your left mouse button down and moving it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create another label here. We'll call this one city. Now there are some others here I could go over right now. There's options, toggles, but we'll probably save those for another video. I just want to get a few simple things out of the way here. Next thing you do is going to click this button called Command button, and you can see it once again attached to the mouse. Right, drag and click it to make sure it's maximized. I'm going to kind of move this one over a little bit. Now we have a command button. Now you can double click this, and it's going to open up to another window here. And this is actually the editing environment right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this command button, and we're going to output a simple little message to the screen. It's called a message box. So you type in MSG box, whatever you want to say it. And then over here, we're going to set a parameter for the type of message box we want. I'm just going to use the VBA information, because it's basically just giving us information. And you notice when I hold the mouse, when I was clicking that, did you see that for a second? Let me actually go back here and show you in a minute. I'll erase this and show you. It creates a little, I think I just call it like a help guide or whatever. I think it's called a IntelliSense if I recall, or whatever. And it shows you the parameters and how you need to set up this statement, so to speak. So you see it needs a prompt. It needs, you can set this up for buttons. So basically you can insert an object inside of here. And then over here you're going to have the title, which is right here, of course. You can also add in a help file, context. And then, of course, at the very end, you're going to use your result, which is what kind of box we want to use. So we went with information. So let me show you what you do next. Is you're going to click this little save button. You can just kind of save it to the project, because I already have a project I created. But you can go up here and click File, and I think you normally would have a Save As, but mine's already going to be called Normal, so it's going to save it. This right here resets the program, so when you're running, you want to click this because it'll be a stop button. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to click this little green button. It's for running. Okay, now you see the format we just created. And all we did is we created the name, city, and the text box, the drop box, and the command button. And we're going to click on command button. And you can see the little pop-up box that we just created for message box. And it tells you what you put in the window there. And this is the information, VB information. It just changes the label. So everyone, I'd like to thank you for watching this video where we covered learning how to set up the environment for Visual Basic Applications, which means setting up the developer tab, learning how to create labels, text boxes, drop boxes, and a command button to display a simple message box. I hope you enjoyed this and look forward to more videos to come where we'll be covering more code examples going forward. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like this.